Hi everybody, welcome to another Yarn Scrap Friday with me, Laura, and the last one before Christmas. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make these teeny tiny little Christmas trees, which I turned into earrings. Okay, so for this tutorial we're going to be using some green and some red yarn, obviously, and I've chosen a 4-ply fingering weight yarn, so quite a thin yarn, so that's in red and green. And with that I'm using quite a small hook, a 2.5mm crochet hook, so if you can find something that size or very similar, that'd be great. And you're also going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn tapestry needle as well. There's one with a big eye at the end. And if you want to turn them into earrings, I just used a little fish hook earring and a little jump ring as well, so a couple of little findings. And it's also a good idea if you want to get into jewelry making in general. These are like my go-to pliers that I use. These are little round ones and these flat ones here as well that have a little cutter as well. These are like really useful. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so we're going to start off with the green first, so let's do our little slip knot to begin. Little slip knot, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. I'm going to chain 4 to begin. So chain 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to chain 4, and the last 3 chains are going to count as a double crochet. So this pattern's in US terminology, so in UK terminology that's going to be a treble. So these last 3 chains are going to count as a double crochet, and we're going to work into our first chain. And in our first chain we're going to do 2 double crochets. Put your hook into that first chain, and do 2 double crochet. 2, so that's 1. Yarn over again and go back into that first chain and do another double crochet. Okay, so you've done 2 double crochet into that first chain. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to do 3 double crochet in that same first chain again. So yarn over again, go into that first chain again, do that's 1 and another double crochet in that first chain, 2, and then another double crochet in that first chain, 3. So another 3 double crochet in that first chain, and then we're going to do that again. I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 double crochet in that first chain again, 1, 2, and 3, so another 3 double crochet. Then we're going to chain 2, and then we're just going to slip stitch in our first double crochet. You can slip stitch into the top of your 3 chain if you want to, but it's much easier to see that first double crochet there, and as it doesn't affect it, we're just going to slip stitch into that first stitch. Slip stitch into there. So that's the end of the first round. It should look like a little quite rounded triangle at the moment. Then we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into the 2 chain space. Slip stitch into there. Okay, and then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again we're going to count that as a double crochet. Then we're going to work 2 double crochet into this 2 chain space. So work, just wrapping it around the 2 chains, do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2 double crochet. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a little point on the end. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to chain 2. The reason I'm dividing it up is because we're going to create a little picot. So chain 3 in total, but chain 1, then chain 2. We're going to slip stitch into that first chain. So 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that first chain. that creates a tiny little picot on the end of those 2 chains. Then we're going to chain 1 again, and then we're going to do 3 double crochet in the same 2 chain space. So come down to the same 2 chain space and do 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and that creates a little point on the end. My little trick. And then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Then in the next 2 chain space we do 3 double crochet. So find the next 2 chain space, do 3 double crochet, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to do our little picot again, so we're going to chain 3, so the 1, then the chain 2, so it's chain 3 in total, 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the first chain, to create a little 2 chain picot, then chain 1 again to match the other side, and then 3 double crochet in the same 2 chain space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Okay, then chain 2 and move over to your last 2 chain space. So do 3 double crochet in that last 2 chain space. Move his tail out of the way. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet, goes over, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into your first chain to get a little 2 chain picot, chain 1, then 3 double crochet in the same 2 chain space, 1, 2 and 3. Then chain 2 and slip stitch in your first stitch. You can slip stitch again in the top of your 3 chain, but you can just easier just to slip stitch into that first stitch. Okay, so that's the end of our main tree. Hopefully you got something that looks a little something like this. Then we're going to join the red yarn. So bring in your red yarn. Okay, so bring in your red yarn and then just place that over your hook. Bring it through the loop like so. Then just pull your green down nice and tight. And we're going to chain 2. So 1 and 2, chain 2. Just pulling in those tail ends. Let's get it to join. Chain 2, then turn your work. So turn your work, and so it's in the middle of this last 2 chain space that you just made. Work 2 double crochet in there. 1 and 2. Then chain 2 and slip stitch in the same 2 chain space. And there we are, that's the little base of our tree. So we can just cut our yarn. Let's cut your yarn, both colours, and just bring that loop through. What we're going to do now is hide our tail ends. So I'm going to work the last green tail inwards a little bit, up towards the other tail end. As neatly as I can. And then I'm just going to tie these in a little double knot to secure. You can of course sew them in much neater than me. I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. trim down the excess. And then I'm going to do the same for the red as well. I'm going to hide these tail ends. I should do that and I should come back. Okay, so I've also just double knotted on the back the red tail ends as well. So it looks a little something like this, and what we're going to do now is just turn it into an earring if you want to. And at the very top in our little 2-chain picot, you want to find a little horizontal bar stitch and just bring it up slightly to create yourself a little tiny loop. Okay, so I'm just going to bring that up a little bit, and then we're going to take our little jump clasp, and I'm really fiddly with jewellery. Jewellery making is not my forte because I'm all fingers and thumbs, but I'm just going to split open my little jump ring and hook that through. Okay, so I've got that threaded through my little loop. Then I'm going to get my little fish hook earring and hook that on as well, and then I'm going to bring in my little flat pliers and push these together. There we go. Till that's level and nice and secure. Okay, and there we go. There is our little Christmas tree earring, perfect to go alongside the other ones, and these measure about 1.5 inches in height. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and this is my last one, like I said, before Christmas. So I thought I'd do a little quick project in case you want any last minute gift ideas. But I hope you have a wonderful festive season. I hope you have a great Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and I hope you have an even better New Year. But I'll still see you next Friday for some more crochet fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.